man living in Chilcotin. Solitude life on a devoted. Furthermost, all the way out at Wilderness Outpost.
Welcome wanderers, dreamers and seekers of the untamed. This is Furthermost Outpost, a wilderness resort nestled behind the rugged mountains of British Columbia. Jennifer and Aron had it all, or so the world told them. A comfortable life, careers, and a home with the familiar rhythm of everyday life. But it just wasn't enough. They craved something raw, something real. So they did the unthinkable. They sold everything, packed their essentials, and disappeared into the wilderness, chasing the solitude most only dare to dream of. Join us as we revisit their world a decade later. A world of survival, self-discovery, and a kind of love that thrives not in the glow of city lights, but beneath the canopy of 1,000 stars. The wilderness tested, shaped, and marked them, and they thrived so completely that their story was featured on Season 12 of History Channel's Mountain Men. A testament to a self-reliant life, they built off the grid. This is their story. And if you've ever felt the call of the wild, maybe it's a little bit yours too. Subscribe now and step off the map into Furthermost Outpost.
Ooh, I'm a mountain man at heart. I'm a gobbler with any part. I can build, I can fix any problem in the sticks. Got a wife just as smart, we can never be apart. She cooks, she cleans, she's loving. She gets dirty in the garden. Together we soar like the birds along the shore. And the best part is, she gets me.
I'm Jennifer. This is my husband, Aron. Welcome to the podcast. Let's talk about things that scare us.
Scare us? What scares you?
Well, you move off the grid. Some people might think things are scary off the grid, aren't they? They're dark and spooky. You live in the woods in this little cabin, and it's kind of how a lot of horror stories start. It is Halloween. There's always shows about a cabin in the woods. I have one of my scariest stories off the grid. We've been off the grid a decade now. I don't have many horror stories, but for me, this was pretty scary. It was one of those moments where I wasn't supposed to go looking for you, and I did, because you were late coming home, and I was sure that something had happened to your Jeep, and I was actually warned by one of the neighbours 40 kilometers to our east that your Jeep was having problems. I went looking for you when I shouldn't have, and we are literally out in the middle of nowhere. It was a stupid move.
You broke the golden rule.
Well, it's one of those, it is what it is. It's now a story. And it's my scary story. It was late August, and I had to take the quad to go look for you, and thinking you were broken down, I didn't want you to have to walk all the way home. I grabbed my rifle, my dogs, and I passed the headlamps as I walked out of the cabin door, thinking, I don't need a headlamp because I've got lights on the quad. I'll be fine. I'm down the trail. And this is a bumpy trail, side hills, and going over logs and rocks. It's a terrible trail. The quad dies just out of nowhere. It just died. The headlights went out. There was even a click, click, click. When I went to start it again, it didn't do anything. I sit there thinking, well, you're just going to come around the corner any minute. So I'll be fine. I'll just wait here a little longer. There was supposed to be a full moon that night. Thought for sure at least I would have the moon to keep me company there while it was getting dark. So I waited too long. The clouds never parted and that moon never came out. Our trail is so closed in and dark. The trees are 60, 80 feet tall on each side. It started getting dark and creepy right away, and you weren't coming. What have I done? What did I just do? I put myself in a situation that I should never have put myself in. I didn't pack anything to go with me. You know, when you go, you have a survivor bag with you.
Yes, I have a pack sack that has everything in it.
I know, you can light a fire 3 ways. Yeah. I always make sure you have everything. And here I leave home And I didn't take anything with me. Nothing. No water, anyways. I realize that I've waited too long for you. It's now pretty dark. And before my quad had died right there, I had just drove over a pile of bear poop, fresh bear poop. And I remember that very well, thinking, great, my quad dies right beside a big pile of bear poop. I've got to go home now because I can't wait for you anymore. You're not coming. I got some sticks and I put an arrow down before it was pitch black, pointing the way home so that at least when you came across the quad, you'd see that I went home. Hopefully you'd figure that out. I decided to take the key out of the quad because we're on a trail, there might be somebody coming by and maybe they would have figured out how to fix it. I didn't know what was wrong with it. So I took the key, walked all the way back. The dogs have white heads, right? They're Aussies, they're blue merles, their heads are white on the top. That's the only thing I could see. It got that dark. And those dogs know the trail, which was excellent because I couldn't see the trail. I only got hit in the face with branches if I was getting too close to being off the trail. And every single rock, boulder, puddle, root, I tripped over it. I fell into everything and I kept having to put my hands out so I wouldn't hurt myself. I couldn't see till I had to lift my feet really high as I'm walking and I just kept tripping and falling. Knees and handprints, knees and handprints. That's what it was the whole way. I was so scared, pitch black, in the middle of the woods, all alone, because you really feel like you're the only person left on earth. Moose, bear, wolves, and whatever. They're all out there. They can smell me. I'm emitting fear. My blood's rushing. I'm feeling sick to my stomach because of adrenaline pumping. It was a feeling that I never want to have again. When you taste that copper in your mouth because your blood's pumping so hard, that I've realized is the smell of fear. It's your blood pumping so hard that you taste copper. I was shaking, just shaking. I'd never been in a situation like that. I was only about 1 kilometer from home. The dogs knew how close we were to home. They took off and left me there. And that's when I hear crackling in the bush. I can hear breathing. I hear the claws go in the tree beside me. Right beside me, I can hear this breath, and the claws kept climbing higher and higher. The black bear climbing a tree right beside me, this big aspen tree. We have aspens that line the last kilometer home. I knew it was a black bear because it was climbing a tree and the huffing was getting higher and higher. I've never tripped and fallen so fast in my life trying to get home, yelling and just running down that trail, tripping and falling because I still can't see anything. I've got my rifle. Where am I going to shoot? As if I'm going to shoot and injure a bear and then have to run home after that. I knew it was a black bear because it was climbing a tree. I ran all the way until I got to the top of the resort where I could see that dock lit up. It's the only thing that I could see in the pitch black of everything was those dock lights, so I knew I was almost home. Run down the hill, turn on the generator because we didn't have power then. Get in the house and the first light I see, I am mud head to toe. Head to toe. The dogs, they're black. They only had white heads because they went through every puddle that I went through. It was just a mess. I changed, I checked messages, I turned the Wi-Fi on, and there was no message from you. Nothing. So where were you?
Well, for one, I don't have a cell phone.
Well, we don't have coverage out here.
That's right. And that kind of leads on to my scary story. Because, yeah, I broke down 25 kilometers from home and had to walk it. I broke down about 7 o'clock. I figured I'd try to get this Jeep running. I knew my fuel pump quit. I had a gas can, put it on the roof, put a hose down into the throttle body to drip it in there, thinking it'll run. It might not run well, but it'll run. Didn't work even the slightest. Wouldn't cough, sputter, or kick. After an hour of playing with it and doing all these things, I thought, well, before it gets too dark, I better get moving. I just grab my pack sack and start hoofing her down the trail. It took a while. I figure I was doing about 5 kilometers an hour, walking as fast as I can. I've been traveling a couple hours. I'm getting close to Geese Lake. I see this shiny thing up ahead, because I got my headlamp on once in a while. It's a quad. I'm thinking, hey, that's our quad. What a darling. She came and left that for me so I wouldn't have to walk the rest of the way. There's no key in it. So I look everywhere. There's no key. I'm thinking, she forgot to leave me the key, or something has happened. Well, enough time spent on that. I go to start walking some more and I look down. There's an arrow on the ground. She broke down. Okay, here we go. It's pretty dark at this point. I didn't get 100 yards and I start hearing things in the bush. What's that? I don't have my lamp on because I'm trying to save the batteries. And I turn my headlamp on. I see glowing eyes all around me, wherever I look. This is creepy. Quietly take my pack sack down. My axe is strapped to the pack and carry it in my hand. Keep my headlamp on for a bit. These eyes are around me. I decide I turn my headlamp off and I keep walking down the trail. I can kind of see the glow of the trail, and I know the trail like the back of my hand. I know where every rock is. I keep walking and I hear nothing. Turn my headlamp on. There's still eyes. There's not as many, but there's still eyes following me, watching me. They're all around me. What freaks me out the most is there's no sound. They're
Really?
Quiet. Off goes the lamp, walk some more, turn the lamp on, fewer eyes. I do this a few times, turn the lamp off, keep going. Eventually, the eyes totally disappeared. I look around and I don't see any eyes. The hairs on my back and my neck, they can calm down a little bit now, because that's exactly what happens. If I had a fur coat,
It would have stood.
my hair would have stood up over my head.
Well, and when you think about it, like, what would you have done if they started attacking? You only have an axe. It would have been the scene out of a horror movie for sure.
Swing, baby, swing.
What were you seeing on the ground this whole time when you were traveling?
Well, at this point,
Was there any sign?
At this point, I'm really not paying much attention to the grounds. I'm keep walking, and it gets to the point where it's so cloudy, like there's no moon. It is so dark. I figure I'm close enough to home. I can keep my headlamp on continuously now. And going along, I'm looking down. I come across a puddle, and there's tracks. Then there's 2 handprints in the mud. Why is she crawling on the ground? I keep walking. Next puddle. Knee prints. Handprints. She's crawling on the ground. I thought, is there something wrong? Because she's crawling home. I just keep going, and this turns out to be a continuous thing. Every puddle, every rock, there are handprints and knee prints on the ground. Eventually, about 1 a.m, I get home. I kind of come staggering through the door because it's been a long hike after a couple of days of cutting trail, and I'm exhausted. The first thing I asked is, so what's up with all the handprints and knee prints in the puddles?
I tell you, I didn't have a headlamp.
And then you tell me your story, and it's like, shake my head, because the golden rule, never come looking for a mountain man.
I know. And that was the only time, and I will never do it again.
That's right. And that's good, because the reason for that is, if something does happen to me, say I'm out there, I break a leg, I can't get home, I'll be fine. Somebody will probably find me in a couple of weeks sitting on the porch of a cabin I built, waiting for my leg to heal so I can walk home. Either that or that bear ate me, and it's really not going to matter if you find me or not anyways. So,
you know what the best part about these adventures that we have, or misadventures, whatever you want to call them? Do you remember that night when you got home and I had just flew out of bed? You had finally gotten home, turn on the lights, and then we're so excited telling each other the stories and the adventures of what just happened.
Oh, yeah.
We're
yes.
just overjoyed. There's no one else in the world I'd rather tell that story to than you, and vice versa. You only want to tell the exciting thing to your partner, right? I mean, you came in that night, you left blood on the floor everywhere you stepped. You had taken your socks off because your feet were soaked. You had hiked forever, and you had blisters on your heels so badly that you left blood trail on the floor, but you didn't even see it or care or feel it because you were just so excited to get home and tell me your story and listen to mine. And that is, you know what? That is just one of those things that you can explain to people how exciting life can be, even when it's misadventures or misfortunate. It's exciting no matter what happens, right?
An adventure is an adventure. Any adventure is exciting.
Yes. You had a pack of wolves behind you. I had a black bear, all in one night, all on the same trail. And it seems just unreal when you tell a story like that, but it happened.
Well, unreal to others, but that's what it's like out here.
That is what it's like out here.
You can't panic.
I panicked. I totally panicked. I was lucky it was a black bear, and it was scary to me because if it was a grizzly, whole different story. I'm just lucky it wasn't a grizzly, and you're lucky it wasn't a grizzly too.
Well, for me, you can't show them fear.
No.
Because, like you said, they'll smell fear.
Yeah.
But luckily, that bear had so much fear of its own, it probably couldn't smell yours.
If I had a headlamp, I probably could have gotten home faster. I wouldn't have been tripping and falling everywhere, but
yes,
who knows what I would have done if I had seen all those eyes. This was years ago. I want to say this was about 6 years ago. And I wasn't as calm as I am now. That was my first few years in the bush. It's taken a lot of seasoning, let's say, to get to where I am now, where I am a lot more aware of my surroundings and how to deal with everything in nature. But I just wanted to touch base on that and say that as scary as that was for me, and it might have been for you, it's not the scariest things that have happened out here, but it is one of the stories. A lot more episodes to come, hopefully a lot more seasons to come, but this is our first podcast, Furthermost Outpost. I'm looking forward to doing this. It's going to be a long winter, Aron.
It's going to be a lot of fun because we have many stories, so much advice, experience. Yeah, and to hands-on, and to be able to share that with others and help other people. Yeah. I think that's the biggest part of this, is to be able to help other people do what we're doing or make a decision to either do it or not do it.
Any questions, send them our way. We'll be happy to answer them. We'll do some question and answer podcasts. We have a huge lineup of everything we want to talk about this season.
Send us questions. We'll be sure to answer them as we go.
Absolutely. We might do some interviews. If you are wilderness savvy, doing the same kind of thing we do, let's hook up. Let's do a podcast. Let's talk about it.
That sounds great.
Way more adventures to come.
My absolute biggest fear.
What's your biggest fear?
Is if we had to leave here and move back to a city.
Subscribe to our podcast. Furthermost Outpost.
Have a good evening.
I'm a free man living in Chilcotin. Solitude life on a devoted. Furthermost, all the way out at Wilderness Outpost. A log cabin for two, we claimed our stake. All the way out on Eliguk Lake. A fishing lodge with lots of dogs and chickens that give us eggs. Where all our workplaces are wide open spaces. And a lumberjack can never get the blues. Ooh, I'm a mountain man at heart, a MacGyver with any part. I can build, I can fix any problem in the sticks. Got a wife just as smart, we can never be apart. She cooks, she cleans, she's loving. She gets dirty in the garden. Together we soar like the birds along the shore, and the best part